Hello everyone and welcome back on my channel. As someone who spent few years learning through books, courses and tutorials, there are two questions I found myself coming back to time and time again. Are art courses worth your time and money? Which ones actually make you a better artist? I don't think I can answer those questions without going back to where my own watercolor journey began. David Bellamy has always been one of my favorite artists, and his books were the starting point of my watercolor journey. David Bellamy is a Welsh artist who has published dozens of books over the years. Despite his age, David is still professionally active and his books continue to be reprinted regularly. That means you should have no trouble finding copies if you wish, whether new or secondhand. The internet is full of art courses that teach you how to recreate a painting step by step. But when it comes to creative art, is that really enough to make you a better artist? Surely, a good course should do more than teach you how to use paints, brushes, and techniques. It should leave you feeling that once the exercise is over, you genuinely know what to do next. If I had to choose one book that shaped the way I approach watercolor, it would be the Watercolor Landscape Course by Mr. Bellamy. Among the dozens of books on my shelves, this one stands out for a simple reason. It made me look at learning differently. It changed what I expect from a course and what I look for when I'm trying to improve. In my opinion, the real value of this book isn't the techniques it teaches. It's in the way it helps you learn how to observe, understand, and make your own decisions rather than simply follow someone else's processes. And that brings me to what I believe is the book's greatest strength: the exercises. The way they are structured, the order in the way they are presented, and the skills they are gradually built. By the end of the book, you don't just feel like you've completed a series of exercises, you feel better equipped to tackle your own work with confidence. Looking back, this completely changed what I look for in learning resources. I'm no longer interested in simply following instructions. I want something that helps me understand why I'm making certain choices and how to apply those ideas to my own work. To show you what I'm talking about, let's take a look at one of the exercises. The aim was to create several compositions from the same reference photo. I came up with 3 different versions, keeping the elements I found most interesting and adding a few ideas of my own. The original photo isn't particularly well lit, and the composition isn't especially strong. Instead of copying it exactly, the exercise encouraged me to think about what could be improved. The goal wasn't to reproduce the photograph, but to explore different ways of interpreting the same scene. Sometimes I mixed things up a bit and combined different exercises. For example, I would take a photograph from one exercise and use it with the instructions from another. David's sketching style was also a huge source of inspiration for me. It helped me understand what really matters in a sketch and which elements deserve the most attention. As a result, I'm able to work much faster and with more confidence. The next 2 books I would like to recommend take a very similar approach to learning, although they focus on different techniques and subjects. The first book is an excellent resource for urban sketchers, as well as anyone who enjoys keeping travel journals or adding illustrations to their everyday notes. Alongside practical techniques and materials, it teaches you what to focus on when you want to quickly capture a scene, a moment, or an interesting detail. It encourages experimentation and shows a variety of ways to approach sketching. It's also beautifully put together. More than once, it inspired me to pick up my sketchbook and experiment with different tools, techniques, and ideas. The next book explores a rather unusual approach based on just two materials, white gouache and watercolors. It's not a combination you came across very often, which is one of the reasons I found it so interesting. Alongside practical advices for painting outdoors, it includes exercises centered on color, light, and observation. It also features creative challenges designed to improve technical skills, strengthen observation, and help you become more comfortable working in challenging outdoor conditions. What makes this white gouache and watercolor combination so interesting is that the finished paintings often appear to be painted entirely in gouache, when in reality watercolor provides most of the color. After looking through all these illustrations, it's time for the creative part of this video. I've decided to paint a piece based on one of the sketches I created from David Bellamy's composition exercise. That said, I'm not going to play it safe with color. I would like to take a slightly bolder approach and experiment with a darker palette. Hopefully, those darker tones will help reinforce the mood and atmosphere of the painting. I'm starting with a quick sketch. I decided to go with the composition that places the cottage in the lower right corner, leaving plenty of space for the sky. I've simplified the composition slightly, keeping only the most important elements, so that the lower part of the painting doesn't become overcrowded with detail. I'm starting with the sky. I already have a rough idea of the colors I want to use. I'd like it to feel a little moody, but not dark or depressing. I have to admit, skies still make me a bit nervous. They are one of those things I never feel completely confident about. But I suppose the only way to get better in painting them is to keep painting them. Maybe it's just a matter of patience. The more often I do it, the more familiar it all becomes. Little by little, I start to recognize how the paint behaves and when it's best to leave things alone. I think I just need to trust myself a bit more. What about you? Do you enjoy painting skies in watercolor? Or do they give you a hard time too? Don't be shy, let me know in the comments. Was there ever a moment when something just clicked for you? A book, a course, a piece of advice, or perhaps a simple idea that suddenly changed the way you approach your work? I've had a few moments like that myself. Looking back, they seem obvious now, but at the time, they completely changed the way I learned. I always enjoyed drawing, but for most of my life I never seriously developed those skills. I didn't have books, courses, the internet, or friends who shared the same interest. I mostly relied on intuition and trial and error. Years later, I decided I wanted to change that. As I mentioned earlier, I took a watercolor course. It gave me a good introduction to the medium, but when it ended, I still didn't feel confident enough to create my own work. So I started experimenting. Colored pencils, graphite, gouache, sometimes all of them at once. I followed tutorials, watched demonstrations, and repeated exercises. Yet more often than not, I felt frustrated rather than satisfied. Then I came across a drawing course that taught me something surprisingly simple. Proportions and compositions come first. You may find that obvious, but for me it was a genuinely turning point. Almost overnight, my drawings started to improve. The problem wasn't shading, cross-hatching, or the way I held pencil. The problem was that I didn't understand the structure underneath. Another breakthrough came when I discovered the Fibonacci sequence. It led me down a rabbit hole of learning about the patterns and proportions that appear throughout nature. I started noticing that so many things I had always taken for granted. The way trees grow, the structure of leaves, the arrangement of plants follows certain patterns. Nothing seemed quite as random as I had once thought, and that completely changed the way I looked at the world around me. What helped me improve wasn't simply doing more exercises, it was learning how to see, how to analyze what I was looking at, and how to translate those observations into my own visual language. That's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. If you feel as though something is still missing from your creative practice, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is, perhaps the answer isn't another technique, another brush, or another tutorial. If there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's that sometimes you have to learn how to look before you can truly see. The techniques matter, practice matters, but none of it helped me as much as learning to notice things I had been overlooking for years. Once I started seeing things differently, my work started changing too. Looking back, that shift in perspective made a bigger difference than any technique I ever learned. I hope this video has been helpful in some way, whether it gave you a new idea to explore or simply encourage you to reflect on your own creative journey. If you've had a similar breakthrough or discovered something that changed the way you learn and create, I would genuinely love to hear your story in the comments. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope you enjoy it and hope I will see you again soon. Take care and bye for now.